Hello to my Poland and Jyoti. I'm Miki from Sholing Global High School. I'm opposition side. I'd like to share my speech. We believe that international law does not need to include an ethical obligation, an overriding ethical obligation to protect and preserve extraterrestrial microbial life. First, I would like to explain my position, and then I would like to respond to my opponent's argument. First of all, we believe that law cannot come before exploration. When we have a rule or a law, we make a moral decision between right and wrong. But how can we make a decision between right and wrong when we don't know what is there? For example, if we encounter life that had no benefit or harm for us, it wouldn't have many effects. However, if we find a microbe that could make us live 100 years more, that will definitely change the way we see ourselves as a human being and change the moral responsibility to other people in very interesting ways. If we being were dangerous to us, we would be concerned with creating a law to protect ourselves from them. Morality is always responsive to the condition we encounter. We have to understand the situation we are encountering before we can say anything definitive. Furthermore, we don't know enough about space, especially when it comes to microbial life. Humans have never left the orbit of our planets. We don't even know how far space expands. For example, we recently discovered a star 7 light years away. Before, technology wouldn't allow us to see that far. Another example is Mars. In the 19th century, people insist that Mars had a civilization. From 1960 to 1970, we thought Mars was a dead world. In the early 2000s, we found that Mars actually had life. If we made an international law based on what we knew in 1960 to 1970, it might not cover what we need to protect. First, we need to learn what we need to protect before we can establish a law. Law might limit the scope of exploration or conversely might damage life. We also believe that current laws are enough. Right now, we have a law and the guideline to explore space and prevent the contamination of space. We believe these laws are adequate. For example, they are provisions for the freedom for all countries to explore space, protect life, promote international cooperation, and understanding. Therefore, we're proud to oppose. I'd like to respond to my opponent's argument. Her first point, she talked about evolution because microbes have ability to develop like a human. However, this is not true. First of all, we don't know what kind of extraterrestrial microbial life exists and its effect on Earth. And how can you say they have the same ability as humans? Don't you think that if we make a restriction with the international law, it will be difficult to research about microbes as well as its benefits? We don't know how we are hurting that microbes. We could possibly introduce microbes that help benefit their evolution. Her second point, she said we should make the money she said we should use the money for space travel to use for the people on Earth. However, this is not true. According to the popular science, the cost of NASA's budget hasn't increased since 1972. Furthermore, NASA's budget had actually been cut 75%. Also, in America, in 2014, NASA only cost under 1% of the $3 trillion US budget. That's why cost is not a problem. In her third point, she talked about nations coming together and connecting our world. However, this is completely unlikely to happen. For example, the UN has an international law of accepting refugees to seek asylum. However, many EU member states refuse them. Furthermore, how can nations come together when we don't know what extraterrestrial microbial life? What is worse to us. Thank you for listening.